2017 Nebraska Beef Cattle Report compiles research yearly from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln on subjects such as cow-calf management, using residues in forages, and growing and finishing animals. One of the topics this year looks at the use of implant programs in the feedlot. Placed under the skin and the ear, implants can help producers add weight to cattle. UNL's study looked at the timing and strength of implants to aid in efficiency. We recently talked with Nebraska Extension's Galen Erickson in the RB Warren Arena on UNL's East Campus about that research, and began by asking about the use of implants in feedlot systems.
About 96% of our cattle, by the time they're finished anyway, have been implanted. Most of the implant use in the U.S. industry and the beef industry is in the feedlot sector. There's some more opportunity if producers wanted to in the backgrounding and cow-calf sector to use more implants, but heavy use is primarily focused in the feedlot finishing sector.
Can you address what you see as some of the bigger consumer concerns about the use of implants?
Yeah, it seems like there's more and more interest in production practices, and we have programs in place, some branded programs that are called all natural, which normally restricts the use of exogenous growth implants. And then you have non-hormone treated cattle program, which allows for export to the European Union. So there's some programs that are restricting the use, and some consumers within our general population at least perceive that that's safer for them. To be honest, the data don't suggest that there's any difference in the meat quality or any difference in meat safety. There is a small increase in hormone concentration, but that's been measured routinely, and frankly it's minuscule. So when asked, there's a lot of questions and debate, and my take is always that if consumers want that choice, we should provide it, but it's going to cost more.
Because they're so efficient now? Well,
yeah, there is no other technology that we use, frankly, that gives a greater rate of return. We're going to invest $3 to $5 per head and frankly increase the final weights of those cattle by 80 to 100 pounds. So if live price on cattle is $1 a pound, I can do the math easily. You get $80 to $100 more for a $3 to $5 investment. That's a pretty good rate of return. So my biggest concern is always not what producers choose to do, but if they choose to go to a program that restricts use to implants, just to be sure the premium offsets their lack of revenue that they would have received.
Tell me about some of the research you're doing with implants and the timing of those implants.
Yeah, there is so many options that at times I think it can be confusing to operators. And so one of the more recent trends has been as if a little bit's good, more is better. And for cattle that are going to be fed for a couple hundred days, these implants, most of them, all except for one that's on the market, last about 120 days. And so once you feed cattle in a finishing system for more than 120 days, you got to decide, do I re-implant them? How do I do that? So some of our more current work has been focused on how aggressive, in other words, how strong of an implant to use, and if a strong one's really great at the end, which is true, a strong one at the beginning might be good too, followed by a strong one at the end. And so that's what we've been working on, and it actually is interesting because it shows that more isn't necessarily better. So my recommendation is use the strongest implants for the last 100 to 120 days, and then you can choose to use a weaker one up front. Don't go with another strong one at the very beginning, because you don't get improvement in performance, and so there's really no extra benefit.
You are still talking about using 2 implants though?
Yeah, I think that the data are clear, and we've been exploring that too, that it's probably good to give them a weaker combination, what they call implant up front, which has estrogen and TBA. You can choose to give them nothing, no up front. Just make sure if you're going to be in an implant program, that they get the strongest implant at the end, which is usually a fairly strong combination of estrogen and TBA.
On the Market Journal website, we'll link to the 2017 Nebraska Beef Cattle Report and the study on using implants in the feedlot.